Hey y'all, Marian here with Paper Wizard PKC. Today we are working on our March 2026 main kit, Make Life More Colorful, for this masterclass. When I first saw it, of course, I thought, what a great layout for a crafty crop, some scrapbooking event, anything like that. But then I realized it has so many options available, so you can kind of think outside the box, right? I'm actually thinking about putting some pictures of our new colorful landscaping that my husband's been working on. So I'm hoping that that's going to fit right into it. So a couple quick notes before we get started. First, if you'd like to take a look at the pieces up close, you can log on to Paper Wizard PKC Facebook group, which is the group we're in right now if you're on Facebook. Click on Media, Albums, and then PKC 2026 kits. And you will find pictures of each of the titles and embellishments, things like that, for our PKC kits, okay? And then lastly, in these videos, we'll just be putting together the titles and embellishments. The instructions for your page assembly are in your kit, and you can definitely finish all of that on your own. All right, let's get started. Okay, so here we go. The masterclass for our March 2026 main kit, Make Life More Colorful. All right, here are the pages finished. And like I said, we're not going to finish these pages with the video. I'm just going to go through putting together the Make Life More Colorful title. And then this is the second page. Oh, so beautiful. I love all these colors. And then we're going to go through creating these and the scrapbooks. So those are the things that we're going to do during this time. All right, so you have two packets. You're going to take out the packet that has the title and flowers in it. All right, and you know I don't like to dig into these, so I'm just going to trim that plastic up, pull those out upside down. Oops, my O stayed in. Okay. All right, we're going to get into this packet in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and turn over all of my backings and my words. I'm putting the words to the side for just a few minutes because we're not actually going to start with those. We're going to put the backers together and then go do the flowers, the flower bunches. So I'm putting, now some of the cards have the flowers and some of the lettering, so I'm going to put those over where I'm going to grab them. Of course, you can put them anywhere you'd like. This is just kind of how I put it all together. Okay. All right, so I have all that out. And before I get this little packet out here, I am going to go ahead and adhere my backers together. So they're all in order. So black is going to be on the very back. Then we're going to do the pale yellow. And it's going to be centered right on that black. And then we're going to do the white. Lots of noise for these tape runners. Okay, and it's going to go centered as well, right into that pale yellow. All right, then we're going to put that aside for just a minute because now we're going to work on the flowers. So you will need to get this little packet and pull everything out of there. Just be careful. Lots of little pieces. Okay. And you know me, I'm flipping everything over because that's the way I do. So we're going to have a left and a right flower bunch. And then we've got scissors and washi and a couple or 3, I think, little flowers. Okay, so we're going to start with our left flowers. Okay, so here's how it's going to go together. Green is the base. You'll know it's the left flowers because the leaves are pointing to the left. All right, and then when we get to these flowers, you can see there's an orange dot that's going to go behind the backer. Then you've got your black, blue for that one. Orange dot behind the black backer and the purple, and then orange dot behind the pink. And I'll bring those back in if need be. So we're going to start with the green backer. And you'll know which black backers go with the left side because the flower is just a little bigger. Okay, and then we're going to use our blue card to grab the blue flowers out of it. And you'll see there are other things left in that card, so don't toss that card yet. We're going to need it for a couple different things. And then we have the small purple flower that we're going to use for this side. And the F I'm going to put to the side. And then we have 2 orange. Okay, it's the medium. Let's see. For this one, it is the larger orange. Just making sure it's not the medium. Yeah, largest orange circle here. And then not the smallest, but the next to smallest orange circle for the purple. Okay, and those can be put aside for a few minutes. Then we're going to grab the little pink flower and the yellow. And I think in your directions, it might have you doing these small flowers last. But since they're on the card like this, I'm going to go ahead and do it just like that, okay? All right, so we take this black backer, turn it over. I put adhesive around the edge of the back part, and then you're going to take that large orange circle and fill it in right there. Okay, now on here, you will see that there are many different forms of petals, so you'll be able to know exactly where it goes. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put it down because I have some extra glue that I don't want it to get stuck on my craft paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. Well, I had it right. Okay, and then you can line it up just perfectly. All right, then we're going to do the large blue. And again, I love the way these flowers are made because they're not symmetrical. So you know exactly how they're going to go on. All right, and then we have the next black piece. It's going to be the smaller piece right here. And this one, I keep turning around just a little bit to find which way it goes. But you'll see that there are these 2 little places. One kind of juts out and then the other one kind of goes in. Those are going to fit right on top of that cutout, the center cutout. So it's fairly easy to find how to put it on there in the right orientation. Okay, and then we have the blue, and then the same thing. You've got those little, oops, I got it upside down, right there. Okay, I probably over adhered that a little bit. Okay, so that is the blue flower. Now we're going to do the purple flower. Okay, so again, you're going to take this black backer, turn it over. Well, I got a pickup tool over here and I keep forgetting to use it. Okay. Put that on there. And again, since I already have some glue out there, I'm going to go ahead and put it right on the backer. It does not say to do that in the directions, so if you want to follow the directions specifically, then you would go ahead and put your purple piece on before you put it on the backer. But I'm going to do it this way just because I had a little extra glue on there. And then we're going to put the purple flower on. Whoops, I missed my holder. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm trying to double check my directions, y'all. Sometimes I forget the order that they have them in. Yeah, so they want us to go ahead and attach this to the left side. So it's going to go right on like that, and then we're going to go ahead and do the pink, the tiny pink flower. Turn that upside down. Let me use my picker-upper this time. Little glue to put the middle on. Can't use too many tools at one time because I get all backwards. Okay. Gonna put that right down in the middle. I'm just gonna add another little dot of glue on the back of the center. And then as you look at this, you'll see that there are two larger petals on this pink. That is what goes on the green backer. The two that looks like a little X hanging up, that's what's gonna fit right on your backer. Okay, so we have that one done. Now we're gonna work on the right side flower, which is here. And we have the black backers for the flowers. And then we have the pink. Oh, and I'll show you the breakdown here in just a minute. So, and then let's get the pink flowers out. You're going to have this yellow dot that's on your L card. And then you're going to have this large orange dot that's on the orange card. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and grab these two orange smaller flowers. Oops. And we're going to need this for those extra flowers here in just a minute, the little orange dot, but we're going to wait for that. and then pick up your yellow card with the small flower and the tiny dots on it. You need 2 of these tiny dots to go inside your orange. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those out as well. Okay, so now for the backer, for the flower, we're going to start with, again, turning this black backer upside down. Oh, sorry, almost forgot to show you the breakdown. So here it is right here. So you've got your green, the orange goes behind the black backer, then you have your pink flower, another black, and then another pink. For the blue tiny flower, same thing. Yellow is going to go behind the black backer, and then you've got your blue flower. And then for the 2 tiny orange ones, you've got your yellow dot behind your orange flowers. So same order, same order. I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue all around, and I'm going to put it on my backer. Okay, so we're going to pull this, now turn this over. And again, you can go ahead and put this together off the backer, or you can put it together on the backer. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my backer since I have that adhesive on there. All right, and now we have the large pink flowers going next. All right, and then we've got the smaller black. All right, and again, you're going to find the way that the little, I can't think of another word, but jut out. And I know that there's another really cool word for it right now, but for some reason it's not coming to me. But you're going to line those up. Do I have it upside down? I think I got it on there and then I turned it around. I did. I turned it around in my tweezer, which is why I love those little jut outs. All right, and then pink, small pink flower. All right, if y'all know a different word for that, lay it on me. Tell me in the comments. All right, so we've got that. Now we're going to put the little blue flower on. So again, turn that black backer over. Adhesive so you can put that dot in the middle. And we're going to turn this so it fits right on there. Now, there are places that you could be using pop dots, but I actually am going to use 3D tape on the words. So if you start putting 3D dimension on these flowers, and then you'll have to put it on the words as well, it's going to get really, really thick. So if you're using it in a scrapbook, in the book itself, it might not be a good idea, although unless you like really, really thick, bulky stuff, which is fine. If you're using it in a shadow box, though, lots of dimension looks really cool. So you could definitely put some 3D tape on all of that. So, all right, so now I'm taking my little orange flowers and I'm going to pop these yellow centers on the back of the flower. And I'm doing adhesive on both of them. Just because it's so small. And we're going to put them both on the backers. And I'm just going to turn this around. The petals on the backer are exact to the petals on the flower, per usual. So you might have to turn it just a little bit to get to the right angle. But whoops. I think it's the wider opening here. Yeah, for the very smallest orange, it's the wider opening goes on the X looking part. Okay, and now we're going to put this on the backer. Oh, too much adhesive. No glue boogers. Okay. And it fits, of course, right on that white shimmer piece. All right, time for some wipes that I forgot to get out. Get my fingers cleaned off. All right, so next, we're gonna assemble the words. Okay, so we're going to, this is what it's gonna look like right here. So we're gonna start with the dark pink backer, and then we're gonna build on that. All right, I'm not going any further because we have to turn one over and get it set up here just a second. So now I am gonna, okay, I am not gonna glue this down yet. So you can go ahead, if you look at the directions, it says go ahead and glue this down. But honestly, I want a little bit of 3D tape on this because otherwise it kind of has a little caved in look. And y'all know I am not the caved in type. So I'm gonna wait for that. All right, what we're gonna do is we're going to grab, I'm trying to find my letters. Oh, there it is. Okay. In this card that's got the Make Life More, you've got this little circle. So what you're going to do with that, I'm going to move this back for a minute. What you're going to do with that is you're going to take the white word backer, turn it over, and this is going to fill in your dot for your eye. So put that on there, make sure that the dot completely fills in your eye. And then we're gonna take that and adhere it to the pink backer. Oops, I missed. Gonna have a little glob of glue there. Okay, and that's just going to be centered right on the pink. Yep, there's my glob. I knew it was going to happen. Well, there we go. Okay. All right, so then we're going to grab the black words, or letters, excuse me. Well, letters and words, because you have the Make Life More. Okay, I'm gonna take the Make Life More, and we're gonna go ahead and put that on. Be careful when you're pulling these out of the card. I love this script writing, but it is a little delicate. The really neat thing though is if you happen to bend one a little bit or something, you can actually bend it right back. Okay. Oh, and what I should have done, but I didn't, so now I'm going to use my liquid adhesive, is I should have run my tape runner over the back side of my card and pulled it out like that. But no worries. That's why we use different types of adhesive, right? Since I missed doing that, I'm just gonna, it just takes a few seconds longer, unfortunately, especially if my glue decides, there we go, stop working. Yeah, just takes me a few seconds longer. Well, it's a little longer video. All right, so make life more. And now I'm going to do what I should have done here with the colorful. All right, so now we're going to take the colorful, that's the black. So it's the black backer letters. And we're going to put those on the card. All right. And these don't really overlap much, so you can put them on really any way you want, but I'm just going to start at the beginning of the word. And you're going to put those black letters right in the center of the white backer. I have to use my eraser on that. And then when we get the colors out, we all know, unless this is your first one, those colors, letters are going to go up and to the left. All right, so grab all of your letters. Okay, so I'm going to start with the pink, just because, again, that's the first letter. So and up and to the left. Oh, to the left. All right, now the next O is orange. I'm actually going to go ahead and do my O and my L, just because they're on the same card, and it saves a little tiny bit of time. Get some time back from using my liquid glue there a minute ago. Glue boogers. If you don't have one of these adhesive erasers, oh my gosh, they make life so much easier, especially if you use a tape runner. All right, so next is the yellow L. Well, that didn't go as far over to the right as I wanted it to, or the left, I mean. Oh, we will fix that later. Okay, green O. The blue R, now that card still has the washi tape on it, so don't toss that card just yet. Well, and I took it out of the card before I put the adhesive on it. Purple F. Almost did it again. Almost did it again. Caught myself that time. And last but not least, the pink U. And there we have it. Make life more colorful. All right, so now we're going to add that to the backer. And like I said, I'm going to put some 3D tape on here to lift it up just a little bit so it'll be closer to the same height as the flowers. So now when you do that, just be careful. You can see here when you put it down, the C is going to overlap quite a bit, so you don't want to put any 3D tape on that side. And there's just a little bit of overlap on the L on this side, so you don't want to put any 3D tape on that part. So I'm just going to do this. Looks like I need a little bit more. And I'm actually just going to stick it right there. Now, of course, if you want to be thorough, you could put some extra up on the corners and around here, but for the sake of time right now, I'm just going to do these. All right, and then we're going to put it right in the center. And there you have it. So it's just got a little bit of dimension to it, but it makes it kind of even so it's not caving in the middle. Still see a glue booger. Okay. All right, so now we're going to finish this off. And to finish this off, we've got 3 small flowers, the scissors, and the washi tape. So the scissors have 4 layers. You've got a silver and then a mirrored silver, a light pink, and a dark pink. So we're going to start with those. I can't remember if it was, yeah, I think those come next. But either way we do it, the directions are the same for each little piece, and they all go on here. So when you take the scissors out of their card, again, be a little careful. Okay, so we're going to put the silver metallic or mirror, whichever one you want to say, on top of the regular silver. And when I pulled mine out, I stretched it a little bit, but it's easy enough just to get it right back to where it needs to be. All right, so next we're gonna have the light pink handles. Got a little extra glue on my glue gun there. Okay. And those are going to go, of course, right on top of the silver mirror. And they don't want to cooperate with me. Okay, the other one. And then we're going to put those the dark pink handles on top. Whoop. And then we'll be done with those. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to the backer. Now, honestly, not rereading the directions right in front of me. I don't know if they say to wait and put them all together and then put it on, or put it on now. But I'm going to put it on now. So it goes on top of this purple flower, and you can see there's a little place that the handles fit on there perfectly. So that's where those are going to go. Now, before we do the flowers, we're going to go ahead and do the washi. So it's 3 pieces. Washi is really easy. So it's literally 3 layers. So easy. So you have the white back, the light blue or teal washi, and now just pay attention, because you can see the etching on the one side. You want that etching to be up. And then you've got this cute little heart cut out. That's going to go right in the center of the bottom of the washi. And then this is going to go right over here. Now, if you want it to where it's not going to bend, if you don't want to put it underneath, so if you look at the pictures online, it's going to show that washi up on top. So you can see here I used some 3D dots, oops, to put those on as well. And I just kind of put them on the bottom part, because the top is going to go over, whoops, the top is going to go over the L. So you've got stability for the top part of that. So then it'll be even. I might put one more on that side where it's closer to the flower or the leaf. Okay. Here's the fun parts, getting the backers off of the washi, or off of the 3D dots. I have yet to have found a easy, quick way to do that. All right, and then we're going to put that right on there. So you can see now it's not bending, it's not bowing, it's just perfect. All right, now we're going to grab these 3 little flowers and their centers. So you've got a pink, a blue, and a yellow. The pink and blue flowers have little yellow centers, so those are also on your yellow card, so grab those. And then the yellow is going to have an orange center. So that's there as well. And just in case you need to see the layout, there they are. Okay, I messed up here now. All right, so we're going to turn these all upside down. And I'm going to put the middles on and then put them on my title so you can see the yellow goes down here with the scissors. Actually, it should have gone underneath. The pink one goes right here and the blue one goes right up there. Now, do you have to put those there? No, the only one that I would suggest you put where it says is the yellow one because it actually has a cutout on that title. The other 2, the pink and the blue, you can kind of put those wherever you'd like. So I'm just putting my adhesive on. Got to get one close to the center there. And then I'm going to put my centers on. All right, and we're going to go ahead and put those. So the yellow. I shouldn't have put so much of adhesive on here because what I'm going to do is kind of tuck that under the scissors and put that right there. And if you have micro dots, you could actually put 1 micro dot under this petal. That's at the very bottom. If you want to make sure it's adhered. Or you could even adhere it down to the base. It's just, once again, gonna give it a little bit of a bow. All right, and then I'm just gonna put the pink one and the blue one where it shows. But again, you can put them wherever you'd like. So this one goes here between the U and the L. And then the blue one goes up on the O and the L over here. All right. And there you have it. So we have the title finished. Yay! Okay, so now we're going on to some really cool, fun stuff. Not that the title wasn't cool and fun. So we're going to grab out the other package. Cleaning off my fingers. Okay, and pull everything out. You do have a white piece of cardstock. I just ripped that up the side a little bit to get it out. A white piece of cardstock just was in there to help keep everything together. You can use it somewhere. Be a nice photo mat or something. Okay, and I'm just gonna start taking these out. So we're gonna start with the camera and reel. So I'm gonna keep those kind of in the middle. I'm gonna take them out, flip them over. This next piece right here, am I still? Yeah. This next piece is for when you put your pages together. So I'm going to put that to the side right now because we are not going to do that. This is for the camera, so I'm going to put it over to the side. This small silver is for, oh, the reel. Okay, more camera, more camera. Camera. Okay, so you've got all those pieces. Now you have some tiny hearts. Those are for when you put your page together. And you have a polka dot banner. That's for when you put your pages together. Okay, this is going to be for the reel. So I'm going to put it over to the side. Same thing with your clear piece. Be very careful that you don't lose that. Little black dot, it's going to be for the reel, and then you've got some book things. And I am going to take all those book things and put over out of the way because we're not going to do that yet. These pieces are for the envelope with the reel. More little book items. And then you've got this little package of lots of little stuff. So we're going to have to grab that out too. And honestly, I'm just going to pop this whole thing over because these are going to go in lots of different places, multiple places, I should say. So you can just kind of get them out and put them wherever you'd like because we're going to be pulling these cards back and forth. Anything with like a geometric type of thing, we're going to use those first. The ones with the rounded squares and the hearts, we're going to use those in a little bit. Okay, so you should have some geometric pieces with some other things in them. So we're going to start, like I said, with, let me make sure we're in here. Yeah, with the reel, okay, and the camera. So the reel is several pieces. We're going to start with the actual different pieces here. Okay, so we're going to grab those out. So you have the backer, which I had upside down. So there's the backer. We're not going to do anything with that backer yet. And then you have these pieces, which we're going to actually use right now. So I'm going to go ahead and very delicately pull those out of the card. Okay. And you can kind of see how they're going to fit on the backer. Now, we're going to use all of these little pieces here. But when we put them on, we're going to put them on the back side. So they're going to be upside down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flip these upside down. Okay, we're going to start with the orange, the larger orange piece. It's a funky looking piece. It's going to go right there. I'm putting adhesive on the back of the outline and then putting that orange piece on. And you just want to make sure that you get those pieces lined up so when they're on there, they cover the entire hole. And for me to do that, I'm actually having to pick it up to make sure I get it in there right. Because when I tried this out the first time, I got one kind of a little wonky. So, all right. So there you have it. All right. The next is going to be the pink quarter circle, I guess. And that's going to fit right on here. And it should fit right beside the orange. So and then we're going to do purple, and it again is the curved piece. Make sure that when you're putting these down, I probably should have mentioned this a couple minutes earlier, but make sure when you're putting these down that you're putting them the front facing down, because we're adhering these to the back side. Ah, I'm stuck. I'll have to fix that. Okay. And then last but not least on this one is the blue, light blue. Now, these little rounded squares are going to go with the film reel. So once you get the pieces that you need with those, you can definitely just put those aside if you don't want them in your space. Whoops, upside down, see? All right. And now you can do this one of two ways. You can turn this over and then put your hearts on, or you can go ahead and put it on the backer. I have made a mess. Put it on the backer and then put your hearts on. So I'm going to do that because I have some stickiness going on. I was overzealous with my adhesive, which, if you know me, is not it happens. It happens. I'm just a heavy-handed person. All right. So before we start with the little hearts, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side reel. Again, I might be going a little out of order from the directions. Maybe, just maybe. All right, so you're going to have it. Now, I'm going to flip this over really quickly and show you. So that's the way it's going to go on. So I'm just kind of flipping it over. So we're going to start with the pink. And the pink goes on, for lack of a better term, the longer side of this side of the reel. And then next we have the yellow. Next is orange. And then last, but definitely not least, what did I do? Oh, you know, I am so sorry. I got myself backwards. If you've adhered these down, I apologize. Oh my gosh. Okay. Orange is supposed to go by the pink. I knew it looked a little wonky. Hopefully I caught that quick enough that you can grab that back up if you weren't following the directions and listening to me. And then last is the green. I'm sure most of you are way ahead of me, and for those of you who were listening to me, I apologize. They're just a little bit different size, just a tiny little bit. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that on. Okay, so now we've got to do two things to these colors. We need to put the outside on, and we need to put these small hearts on. So I'm going to grab the hearts. That are on the small cards. You will have a few extra hearts, I do believe. All right, and then now, really quickly, before we put those hearts on, you can see how some of them are going to be upside down because you want the center, the bottom of the heart to be toward the center of the reel. So when you put these on, just remember that part. The orange is going to go right around in there because this piece is going to be covered up. Okay, pink. I should have done the other orange heart. Okay, so pink is next. And while we have pink, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I will come back to that orange one in a minute because I was talking and failed to do that. Okay. And you're just going to put those in the center of each one, as centered as you can get it. No other purple. Next is blue. And it's a darker blue. Or teal. I don't know the real life names of all these colors. All right, then we're going to get a green heart. And a yellow heart. Gonna have to come back and clean up some glue boogers in a little bit. I won't waste too much time doing that in front of y'all. Just know that I will clean those up. Hey, Bonnie, I'm gonna clean them, I promise. Okay, yellow. And last but not least, that orange one that I probably could have done when I did the other orange one. So you can see all the hearts are pointing. Oof, that's gonna bug me for right now. Okay, so we're gonna put everything else aside for a minute, and we're gonna grab the outside of the reel. And very delicate. Oof. So pull those out, and they're going to go right on top. And when I do this, I'm not putting tons, I know, me, I'm not putting tons of adhesive on the outside of this reel because there are so many little dots, but enough that it will stay on. So most of my adhesive is going in between. On both of those, and then this one's going to go right on that side. actually it's left on that side. All right, and then just put that right on there. And you'll notice that it covers up the background color, the white background. Okay, so there we have the reel. So now we're going to work on the camera. The camera is pretty easy peasy. So you have the base, or the backer, then you've got a silver, then the mirrored silver, then purple. Where'd that come from? Pink, black, shiny black, metallic silver, and then silver. Mirrored silver and then metallic silver. Now, the only tricky thing, which really isn't tricky, is this little black rectangle. Before we put this pink piece on, we're going to flip it over and put behind there so it covers, fills in that hole. So go ahead and grab your black card that has your camera and then the little rectangle. Grab your other camera pieces, which are the mirrored silver items, and your little shutter. You know, I love to take pictures, and I loved old-fashioned cameras, but shutter, I can't remember what that little piece is called. Tell me, do you remember what it's called? Do you know? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take this pink piece, and I'm going to turn it upside down. Take this rectangle, and it's going to fill in that hole. So we have that there. Now, I know that the directions are a little different, but because I'm right here and I have this little tiny piece that I don't want to fly away and it doesn't go underneath anything, I'm going to go ahead and put that on because I don't want to lose it. Now, if it overlapped something or went on top of something, of course I wouldn't do that, but it doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and do it so we've got it covered. Okay, now we're going to go back to the base of the camera. Put on the top mirror, silver mirror. Okay, then this is going to go on next. And you're going to just put it right on so that the edges, the bottom and the sides, everything match up. So it covers almost all of that silver mirror except for those pieces. All right, next we're going to take this black piece with the hearts in it. And you're going to line that up as well with the curves at the top and bottom. All right. Now comes the large black, not shimmer, glossy. Haha. The black glossy. Now this one, you want the circle to go right at the bottom of the camera and then centered everywhere else. Oh my gosh. All right, next is the silver mirror ring. It's going to go right over top of that black circle. And lastly, you have the silver shimmer, and you're going to center that again right in the circle for the camera. And it's going to go right on top. I'm just going to keep using this. Right on top of those, the film strip. Gotta pick this up for a second. Okay, and voila. We are finished with that section. All right, so let's build the film reel and the envelope. Okay. Many pieces to this one, so it's going to be this right here. Okay, make sure I'm in my, okay, here we go. So you've got the back of the envelope, so we're going to put those together. Then we're going to put the film reel together, and then the front of the envelope. This clear piece is a definite fun piece to it, but we're going to have to line it up with the holes. So that might take just a minute when we get ready to do that. Okay, so let's just pull out this piece, and we could probably do this later, but I've already said that we're going to do it this way. So we're going to put the striped backing onto the envelope itself. So that's done. And then you can put it aside. Okay, so this clear layer, you're going to pop it out of its card. And then you're going to pull this reel out. And while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up these other two pieces out and get rid of my card because I can. All right, this is going to go behind here. Now, if you had the card upright, when you pulled it out, no. All right, so what you're going to have to do is turn this, just keep turning this around until, oh, that was really quick, until these little holes on the outside, the little rectangular holes, line up. Because there was not an arrow on the reel itself. And I could not, or at least I can't find one on the kit that I have. So, and then you're adhering that clear piece to the back side of the reel. Okay, and you'll notice that I just put adhesive on the middle. You can put more adhesive around it if you'd like, but it's going to go on top of something to kind of hold things. So I think we'll be okay. Now we're going to keep this upside down because we're going to glue these little hearts. We've got some small hearts. What are they called? Sorry, rounded squares. And then we have some solid rounded squares. So you want to grab all of those out, and we're going to put them together with their backer color. The solid is a little darker than the ones with the hearts in them. Oh, I lost my pink. and orange. Okay, so we have all of those colors. So the way it's layered is you have your solid rounded square, and then the heart rounded square goes on top of it. But you're going to be putting it on upside down because we're gluing it on the back of the clear. And I hope you can see this. Oops, a little blurry, because they're going to be behind the clear, so it looks like a true film reel. So keep this upside down so that the clear piece is technically right now on top. And then we're going to put them together. Now, color-wise, you can put these on here however you'd like. But what I'm going to do to start is I'm actually going to adhere my heart squares onto my, or rounded squares onto my solid rounded squares first. Just because I can do that while they're still on the card and I don't have things flying away. I know I talk about things flying away a lot, but I have a cat, y'all. And he likes to come jump on top of my desk sometimes. So, and if you have cats at home, you know what I mean. And sometimes doggies do it too. But I want to limit the amount of time that I have small pieces laying individually on my desk. So I am just taking all of the different colors, and again, you can do them in whatever order you want. I just grab whatever is closest to me. And I'm putting adhesive on the heart, rounded square, and then I'm putting it on the backer. So green goes on green, blue goes on blue, pink on pink, and so on. Whoops, crooked. All right. I don't know if I'm going, I'm not a fast gluer. And some of these cards still have pieces on them, so don't toss those yet. All right, I'm on my last one. How about you? And this one actually has a little heart still filled in the center there, so I'm going to pull that out. You can use those somewhere else if you'd like, or they are technically just the little hearts that are inside here. Keep those other hearts. I'm talking about the tiny, tiny hearts that come out of the squares. The other hearts, you're going to use some of them. Actually, I think we've used them already. They're probably extras, but you might want to use them on your page or on another page. They're cute, pretty little hearts. Okay, now those are all on there. Now we're going to put them on this reel. We're going to put them upside down on the reel. Okay, and when you do that, you want to just be really careful about the way that your hearts are going. Again, the hearts are going to be bottom toward the center all the way around. Okay, now, do you want to do it exactly like the picture? You can. I'm just going to start with, and one caveat, because if you look at mine that I did, my practice page, the colors are actually opposite because I forgot I was doing this upside down. So if you're a stickler for having it just like the picture, make sure you remember that it's upside down and you need to do it the opposite way. Okay? All right, so I'm going to start here. And again, you want to make sure that your heart is facing toward the center. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of adhesive on the top and bottom. And then it's going to go right here. Now, once I do that, I'm going to flip it over. And you can see there's adhesive there. It's going to dry clear. All right, so green. Oops, too much. So it's going to take you a minute, to do this. This is where I wish I had I was allowed to play some music. Because y'all don't want me singing. All right, if you're not working with me and you're just watching, tell me, what are you going to put on these pages? Also, let me know, do you have one of those pesky cats? Or even your best pal dog that likes to jump up and wreak havoc on the work that you're doing. I have some great pictures. They're fun pictures, but also have lost a few things along the way. All right, I am halfway done. If you glue more quickly, then you might be a little more done. Now, what could happen is you could put adhesive just on the reel itself. That might make it go a little faster when you're gluing everything down. So it does make the video a little longer. But if you're watching it on replay, you can stop, fast forward, if you don't want to watch me put every one of these on. Stop it, fast forward, get yours done. Of course, then you wouldn't hear my questions. All right, 2 more. And last but not least, I definitely would suggest that you're using adhesive that dries clear, because if you look really close at mine right now, it looks like a mess. But once everything dries, it doesn't after that. Okay, so all of those are finished. So next we're going to actually not turn it over yet, because this lovely piece right here, this big circle, is going to go on the back of that, and it helps keep all those little tiny pieces together. Whoops. So I'm just putting adhesive on the back side of each of those little rounded squares, and then I'm just going to put this circle right on top of there. Such an ingenious thing. I love this. And it just helps them stay where they're supposed to stay. Plus it gives you a flat surface. Okay, now we're going to turn that over. And we've got 3 more pieces for the reel. We have a black circle, a white circle, and a pink heart. The pink heart is going to come from a card that's over with your book stuff. So if you find that pink card that we put over with the book stuff, you're going to grab that pink heart out of there to use it. All right, so we're going to go black circle. And make sure you're on the front of your reel right now. Black circle, white circle, centered, so you have that black ring around it, and then your pink hearts. Okay, and depending on what colors you want up and tilted, put your heart on however you'd like. Okay, we are going to grab the back of the envelope now, and you have your reel, and then we're going to grab where's this go? Oh, I just found a piece that I think I might have left off, but let me look. No, it just came out of the middle. It came out of the middle of the camera. So just confused me for a second. So that piece doesn't go anywhere. It's just from the center. Okay, now I'm going to do this again a little backwards. I'm going to go ahead and put on, you have your base of your envelope, and then you have the lighter pink that shows kind of the folds, so it makes it look like the folds. I'm going to put that on now before I do the rest adhering of the reel and everything. When you do this, okay, make sure you have it to where your petals for your orange flower are kind of curved to the left. And you're going to put this on, and when you do, just line it up at the top and sides, and you will be good. Okay, and then we have a little orange flower and a yellow dot, light yellow dot. You want to grab that. The other yellow dot's just an extra in case you lose one. I'm going to turn that over upside down, put my adhesive on the back side, put that little yellow dot in the middle, and then we're going to go ahead and put it on the bottom of the envelope. Now, it goes a certain way, so you can move it around to where you get those petals lined up. And I love that because it just gives stability to the back of that flower. Plus it gives you a lineup. Now, I wanted to do that because when I first put mine in, my reel in, I wasn't sure exactly how far I wanted to put it in. So I wanted to get everything done first. So you can, you know, kind of put this whichever way you'd like. All right, follow the picture or put it in a little. Now, you could also put some 3D tape on the back of this so it doesn't bend. However, then you're going to see that 3D tape possibly because it is thick. And honestly, in real life or IRL, right? When you put something like this into an envelope, it's going to bow. It's going to bow some. So I am actually just going to put adhesive on the back of this. And you don't have to leave adhesive off the top like we do on other envelopes. But you also don't want to put it down until you decide where you want your reel to be. Because then you're going to put the reel down first, and then you're going to put the envelope on top of it. Okay, so decide that. Then put your adhesive on your reel. Put your reel on your envelope. And I'm using a liquid adhesive so I can move it a little bit if I need to. Just scooch it on down. All right, and then I'm going to take the envelope top or front, and I'm going to put the adhesive on it, or put it down with the adhesive on it. So just hold that for a minute so it'll stick down. And now you have your reel with the envelope, or in the envelope. So cute. So, so cute. And last but definitely not least, we are going to do some scrapbooks. So we have all of this stuff. We're actually creating this colorful binder. So grab all of your scrapbook pieces out. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the base. Okay. These 3 little pieces I'm going to leave in there for right now in that white spot because I'm going to get my scrapbooks built before I do all my labels. We're going to do those labels in just a minute. All right, so we've got 3 binders. You've got a black and white stripe. You've got a dark pink with a light pink polka dot over top of it. Don't throw your dark pink backer away yet. And then you've got one that we're going to make very rainbow colorful. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and put my black and white. Right on the one that is to the left, that's kind of leaning. And then I'm going to take this. Now, if you look, there's a little bit of difference in the polka dots. So you want the polka dot that's a half polka dot to be at the top. I'm sure it would fit both ways, actually, because it looks like they're rounded the same way, top and bottom, but just in case. All right, and then that is going to go in the center here. Oops, it moved on me. Oh my gosh, my fingers. It's going to go right there. My fingers were dirty. So I got a smudge on my pink. Again, using that eraser, it's a lovely thing. All right, and then now we're going to work on the multicolored. So you have several cards, a rainbow of cards, if you will. And we're going to start with the pink at the top. Now, the top and bottom, I mean, first of all, if you want to put it in Roy G. Biv, it matters. But even if you don't want to do that, the top piece and the bottom piece are very specific because they have rounded corners on the ends and then squared up corners. So at a minimum, you want to do the pink and the purple, which I'm going to do next, top and bottom, because they have those rounded corners. The other three, if you're not an A-type personality like me, you could do any way you'd like. But there are some people at Paper Wizard who know I love my rainbow, my Roy G. Biv. So I'm going to follow the way that it is done on the picture. All right, and last but not least, the green. I love that there are lines here, so it's perfectly spaced. And then we're just gonna, put that right on top of the backer. And now we're gonna work on the labels. So you've got 3 layers to the labels. Again, I'll pull this up right here for you. Silver goes on the bottom, gold, and then white. So I'm going to leave my silver backer in the card. And then, oh, sorry, that was loud. Put adhesive on the back of my gold. And then put them right on top. We are almost done, y'all. All right, and then we've got the labels. Now, if you can write small enough, you could actually write something on these labels. And the labels go right in the very center, or as close as you can get them. I am sometimes center challenged. All right. And then I'm gonna put some adhesive on the back of these, and we're gonna put them on our scrapbooks. Well, I might want to put it the right way. All right, and you know, you can put labels on wherever you want them. Some people like their labels in the center of the book binder. Some people like them at the top. You get to decide where you would like them. All right. And there we have it. Your scrapbooks are finished. And we're finished doing the titles and the embellishments. Let me come back real quick and show you the finished pages again. Okay, so here is the left page with that beautiful, beautiful title. These are the little hearts that I told you to put to the side and your banner. And then this is your right side. This comes cut for you already. Some more of those hearts. And then down here is your little scalloped piece right here. All right. It's so beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the class and look forward to next time. Take care. I hope you enjoyed putting together Make Life More Colorful, but there's one more thing. If you are enjoying these master classes and our Page Kit Club, and think a friend or two might as well, I've been given approval by Eric and Bonnie to offer 2 open spots this month for a friend or two. So if you have anybody that's interested, just have them click on that QR code that you see up in the top there and fill out the form, and then Annie Miller will reach out and give them the details and get them signed up if they so wish. All right, can't wait to see you and maybe some friends next time.